Air raid sirens sounded across Ukraine a day after Russia staged one of its biggest assaults since the start of the conflict. Over 70 missiles were fired on Friday. The second largest city, Kharkiv, was without power, forcing the government to order blackouts nationwide. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's response was defiant.
Whatever the rocket worshippers from Moscow are counting for, it still won't change the balance of power in this war. They still have enough missiles for several such massive strikes. We will have enough determination and self-balance to return what is ours after these strikes.
Shelling continued overnight and 3 people were reportedly killed in Kryvyi Rih in the Dnipro region, whilst another person lost their life in Kherson. 13 others were injured by the attacks, including 4 children, according to the Ukrainian authorities. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has announced it will formulate a response to the latest round of sanctions issued by the European Union against its country. The EU has banned investment in Russia's mining industry and placed more than 200 people on the sanctioned list. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and the Russian Chief of Staff met with Vladimir Putin to brief him on the latest developments and discuss the next steps in the conflict. Russian and Belarus soldiers have organized joint exercises. Soldiers practice ground assaults with the use of drones and personnel carriers. Belarus has repeatedly said it would not join Russia in its offensive, although their president Alexander Lukashenko did give permission for Russian forces to enter Ukraine at the start of the conflict back in February. Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko has said the metro service and their water supply are back in service following the latest strikes on the capital. Residents of the city kept their spirits up by singing Ukrainian folk songs and dancing as they took shelter on Friday from the latest round of attacks. Moscow says attacks on energy infrastructure were militarily legitimate. The Ukraine government said they were intended to cause maximum civilian suffering and should be classified as a war crime. Ken Brown, CGTN, Madrid.